Hello and welcome to the M Vault with me, Marino Palladino, on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel, turning on notifications. The reason why is because I'm going to be posting these weekly updates on my Trading 212 portfolio, so you get to see how I'm doing, but also, encourage you to maybe think about starting your investment journey as well. So we're going to be looking at how it did during the last week from Monday through to Friday. And we're going to also look at the top performing stock in my portfolio as well. So with that said, let's dive inside the video. So let's dive into my portfolio then for this week, week 4. And that's showing you how much I've got from Monday the 1st, midnight. And that's basically just, the fluctuation in currency up until the market opens at 8. And we did drop a little bit actually due to that from the previous week. But starting at 8 o'clock then, we had £2,094.93. We'd invested £1,977.22. So it was up £117.71 or 5.95%. So again, we dropped a bit due to currency fluctuations, but that was our starting point as of that Monday. The Monday just gone, the 1st. And as you can see then, the market's open and it all starts to work. And bearing in mind, I've got stocks in US companies, European companies, and also UK companies, plus the ETFs I have as well, and management funds. So here, for example, we'd invested a little bit more money to £2,077.22, and this is when I normally do my investments at the start of the month, is when I do put the money in, and that shows you how that's doing. And normally I put my money in ETFs and some stocks as well. I've got a joint investment with my dad, which we put in about £50 a month into Apple. And it depends when you do put this money in, because if you can time it when it's on a low, then that's when you get even better gains. And unfortunately, sometimes it's not always goes to plan. Doesn't always go to plan. So towards the end, I did put a little bit more money toward £2,107.22. And again, big dip there. But luckily, the market's regained before the end of this trading week, the end of Friday, including all the stocks I had, the UK, the US, and European stocks. And so by the end of the week, we finished on up £93.49 or 4.44%. So we're up with, in terms of gains, we're up on the portfolio, which is always a good thing to see, especially with the way things are going now with the market. It's quite a turbulent time, and during this week here, I probably did make a few timing errors in terms of putting money in ETFs and stocks when, they could have been lower. Unfortunately, I bought them when they were a bit higher, and they dropped since. So that's probably one of the reasons why, again, I dropped a little bit here in terms of gains for the week. And it also depends when I did invest in those stocks and ETFs. If it's at the beginning of the week, there's more time for my portfolio to grow. And so what that means then is that for week 4, we are down £26.73 or 2.36%. This is based on my numbers from the previous week. So we're down for the week again. I've lost money again on my portfolio. But overall, we're still up. And again, it all depends on those investments that you make and when you buy them. If you buy them at a time where they're low and they go up, then your portfolio goes up. If you buy them at a certain price and then the market goes down, then obviously your investment goes down. So we'll have to see where it goes in the future. But this is when I normally make these investments. I put a certain amount of money each month at the beginning of each month into my portfolio. So in the next the next weeks, I suppose, we will see, given time for these stocks to perform, whether or not they go up, further up or further down. And, I just want to also reiterate that, money that you do put in these investments is money that you don't need, that you're putting aside for long term. You're putting this money aside for it to grow. And so, it's not one of those quick trade sort of moments where, you want to get your money out as quick as possible and make a buck or so. So my recommendation is, before you do start investing, make sure you've got your emergency fund to some sort of level. You've got very small debts or none at all, preferably, and that's it really. Other than that, it's just a case of seeing the long run how your investments do. So my top stock for the week is Hammerson, and Hammerson was up 26.93%, or 6.93 pence as of last week. As I've just gone through the portfolio, and their current share price then sits at 32.86 pence. And they've been actually going up for a number of weeks, and I'll be showing you also their performance within the last sort of couple of months really, and see how well they have been doing. They have gone down though. They did go down dramatically from where they were, and this is due to the problems that the shopping centres have been closed for so long due to the pandemic. And that's what this company is. It's a commercial real estate company who basically own commercial centres. One of them that they own is the Oracle shopping centre in Reading, and obviously they charge companies to for their little patch, their rental spot. Depending on how big that rental spot is, obviously depends on how much they pay. That's what I've currently got in there, £16.23 as a total value, and I've got just over 49 and a half shares. So it's up. We're up, £6.27 or 62.95%. And it's really good. I mean, I bought into this investment, I think, when it was about 20 pence a share, which is super cheap, because they were at like £2-3 a share. So they've slumped massively, and they were in trouble and still have a lot of work to do. I must admit, it's one of those stocks that you really have to tread careful with, especially with the debts that these companies can rake up, and Hammerson's no exception. But within the last sort of couple of weeks, they have increased quite well. So whether or not is the rents coming in again from companies, and when we do reopen the economy in April, hopefully things shall pick up for them. But again, you have to be very careful when you invest in any company, but especially ones that had a massive drop. They did pay a dividend as well, which was all welcomed. But again, if you're not making money, you really can't pay the dividends either. So it's a catch-22. But with the current performance, so it's looking good. And at any time now, for example, I could even sell them and then just exit the whole company and just sell my shares, and that's it. But for the moment, that was the investment I've got in there, and this was the top stock of the week. Well, there you have it then, my Trading 212 portfolio update for week 4. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. That will help me greatly. Also, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to this channel, because again, I'll be posting these on a weekly basis, so you get to see how I'm doing. But also, hopefully it's going to encourage you to maybe start thinking about your investment journey, or just about finances in general. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next video, stay well, stay safe, and God bless.